Hey, shalom, shalom, Israel. Before I get started, as always, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Waharakah Kodash. Double honors unto the apostles, the elder apostles of Great Millstone, the men who ruled very well over Israel, and who also taught us this truth. Peace, blessings, and salutations to the Hakim that are pushing his word throughout the four corners of the earth, and to the sisters that are learning, and to those that support the ministry. Shalom. Salakia. That's the brother Yakana from the GMS Houston camp, coming back with another installment of GMS Practicals. And I just wanted to go into a brief lesson today about Esau. Coming down, man, with a great wrath, man, because he's starting to do what we've been saying all along, through the Holy Spirit. It's been prophesied what this devil is up to, man. With the jab and the MOTB, and we coming into the time of Jacob's trouble. Things are starting to pick up, man. You see volatile situations all over the world, man. You see droughts, you see famine, you see recall on food, which you got to understand something about this devil. I was going to start somewhere else, but I want to bring this out just real quick. This is, I guess, not really off kilt towards the lesson, but since I said that, because they had a recall on a bunch of food, chicken products and all of that. But one thing about Esau, man, he's never gonna tell you what he's doing. You always got to question what he's doing. If he said they recalled all this stuff because it wasn't no good, you got to ask yourself, was that the real reason, or was he just doing a test run? Because he's not to be trusted, man. Just real quick, this is Psalms 58, and we start at verse 3, and it says, "The wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they are born, speaking lies." And that's heavy, man, because just like one of the brothers, the brother Parathon, had brought out last week on the block, that was reported that 100 whales had beached themselves, which, like I had said, man, that's what they said. It might have been 1,100. You never know, I mean, just like with this race with Elon Musk and Richard Branson trying to get to space. They want to get they craft up into space and all that. First of all, that is not no recreational. They make it. They putting a narrative out there that this is a recreational thing. Two rich, spoiled ass dudes racing to see who can get into space first with their ship and all that. This is not what that is, man. That's what they want you to believe. But this is a test run. And them two clowns might not even be on them ships, They may send them up and bring them down and even have them on TV like they talking to, we up here, we doing this and that. And they somewhere on the ground in the studio, You always got to question this devil's motives, man. Why? Because again, the wicked are estranged from the womb. Who is the wicked? He's the wicked. They go astray as soon as they are born, speaking lies. And from the womb, from the time they learn how to speak, they learn they know how to lie because that spirit is in them. They don't grow up and come out of that, man. So whatever he is telling you, this is going on, this is why this is happening, whatever he says, You can bet your last money, man, like Don Cornelius used to say. You can bet your last money he has an alternative motive, ulterior motive, Salakia. He has an ulterior motive. Whatever he's telling you, it ain't on the up and up. You know, if he said we had to recall 10 tons of chickens because they were contaminated, them chickens might have been the best damn batch they ever made, man. That it might have been squeaky clean, but they had to have a trial run. They want to see what is going to happen with food shortages. Who's to say they didn't do that with the freeze, man? You know, the big freeze that went down a couple of months ago. Well, you don't know. Well, they couldn't get the power grids up. They couldn't do this. They couldn't do that. Is it that they couldn't, or is it that they didn't want to? Because they wanted to see the reaction. They wanted to cause an effect. They wanted to see, how is this scenario going to play out if we don't do something to save these people? If we don't come to their aid? At what point do they panic? At what point do they turn on each other? At what point does all hell break loose? And at what point does utter chaos set in? And then we can come in at the chaotic mark. We can come in and get what? Order out of chaos, you know. This is Revelation chapter 12 and verse 12. It says, therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth, and we know the word woe means destruction, death and destruction, and of the sea, for the devil, the wicked, aka the wicked, aka E, is come down unto you having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. So in other words, he's done his trial runs on most of this stuff. He's still doing some trial runs on some other things. And once he gets everything down where he's got everything documented, if we do this, this is going to happen. If we say food shortage, this is how they react. If we say drought, this is how they react. If we say this much acreage is on fire, this is how they react. If we say, suppression on voting and rights for mo's but not for bros and all of that, this is what's gonna happen. You know, if we whatever we do, this is the reaction that's coming out of it. You know, and we're gonna tell them this, but that's not what we mean. We'll tell them this is why it's happening. We'll tell them we did that because of this, but that's not why it's really happening. And they didn't do it because of that. They had another motive, man. Remember, Psalms 58 and verse 3, the wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. And they don't stop. There's nowhere in that song, that whole 58 chapter, does it say until they reach a certain age and then they stop doing it. They grow out of it at a certain point. They come to their senses at a certain point. If you love them hard enough, like these wacky-tacky Christians, then that wicked spirit, that lying spirit has got to leave them at some point. But you just got to love on them hard enough. That's all a bunch of BS, man. They don't stop because they can't. It's just in them to do, you know. And this devil is about to turn up the heat, man. You know, I done said this in I don't know how many lessons, and today won't be no different. As a matter of fact, what made me think of it, I heard the song on the radio today as an old song by Bachman Turner Overdrive called You Ain't Seen Nothing Yet, you know. Where they say, baby, you just ain't seen nothing yet. Boom, boom. You know, it came out in the 70s. This is a real cool song, man. I dug it. Of course I dug them. And they also had another song called Working Overtime. You know. Taking care of business. I've been taking care of business every day. And that's what Esau's doing, man. He's taking care of the business that the Most High appointed him to, man. And the problem here is not that Esau is being wicked. He's doing what he's supposed to do. The problem is 2/3 of our people are missing it, you know. They're not going to get this. I understand it's not their lot to get it. But at the same time, every now and then you sit and go, damn, how can y'all not see this, man? You know, it's a travesty that 2/3 of our people will not wake up, because by waking up, that would ensure your salvation. But it wasn't written that way. This is how far off we went. This is how bad off we went and how much we turned our back on the Most High Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. So much to the point that 2/3 of our people of the nation of Israel, so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, have to be destroyed for what we did. That's why we in hell right now. But we about to come out. We don't have much longer. But we gonna have to get out of here. It's not over yet. Man, what's coming down the pike is bad, of course. You know. And the wicked is about to come down with great wrath, as it says in Revelation. But he's got a lot more to come. He's got a lot more to do. You know. There's gonna be a lot of death and destruction, and it all leads up to the MOTB. You know. But this is good news, man. Job chapter 20, and I'm gonna start at verse 4. It says, "Knowest thou not this of old, since man was placed on the earth, that the triumphing of the wicked is short, and the joy of the hypocrite but for a moment?" You know, it's asking a question. Don't you know that? The triumphing of the wicked is short, and the joy of the hypocrite is only for a moment. You know? So this devil's gonna get it in. It's gonna 2/3 of the nation of Israel have to be put to death. You know? And a lot of that is gonna be at the hands of Esau. A lot is gonna be at the hands of Yahweh Shai and the other angels and the elect number of Israel, the chariots, the missiles, and I hope I'm part of that, getting to execute the judgment as one of the elect. I hope I am part of the elect. That's why we say the hopeful elect. That's our hope. We hope we are. We don't know if we are, but we hope we are. You know, verse 6. Though his excellency mount up to the heavens and his head reach into the clouds. Because this is an arrogant, pompous ass man talking about Esau, man. You know. Yet, verse 7, yet he shall perish forever like his own dung. They which have seen him shall say, where is he? He shall fly away as a bad dream. Well, let me go back to verse 7. He's going to perish, man. His time is limited and his days are numbered. This is why Revelation 12:12, he's going to come down with great wrath, because he know he don't have but a short time. It tells you that in verse 12, it tells you he doesn't have but a little while. He has a short time, which backs up the prophecy here in Job. You know, knowest thou not this of old, since man was placed on earth. That's how far this go back. What? That the triumphing of the wicked is short. It don't last. So brothers, we gotta just hold on, you know. Hold on, because this is short. Yeah, just because it's short don't mean it ain't gonna be brutal. It's gonna be the most brutal shit we done ever went through, leading up to, including the day of the Lord, which is gonna be the end all be all for those that survive that are still labeled as the wicked. Salaki as the 2/3, because that'll be a day like never before, man. Never, you know. Verse 7 again, it says, yet he shall perish forever Once he's gone, it ain't no coming back. And the elites know this, man. Joe Sixpack, Joe the plumber, Joe Mama, and Joe down there at the goddamn gas station, Joe working at the grocery store, they don't know that, you know? Yeah, shit. Joe over there at the bait and tackle shop, Joe Ackerman, and any other Joe you can name. They don't know, you know? But the elites know. They only have a little while, man. They which have seen him shall say, well, where is he? He shall fly away as a dream and shall not be found. Because it's going to be like all this was a bad dream, you know. And that's all it's going to be. It's just that. It was like it was a dream. Like, you know, when you have a bad dream, it's like, damn, that was a bad dream. But it was just a dream. It's over, you know. And there's going to be some afflictions. But the afflictions that we going to go through are going to be light compared to the reward that we get, you know. He shall fly away as a dream and shall not be found. Yea, he shall be chased away as a vision of the night. Verse 9, I also which saw him shall see him no more, neither shall his place any more behold him. Once the Most High destroys Esau, that's it, you know. It will be no more Edomites. There will be no more Edom for the rest of eternity, man, which, by the way, does not end. So I shouldn't have said the rest of eternity, but for all eternity, there'll be no more Edom. There'll be no more Esau. There'll be no more nation of Edom, no more Edomites. Forever and ever, man, you know. But before we get to that point, this devil is going to come down with great wrath because he know he doesn't have but a little bit of time. And when you jump back to Job, that's the way it's been since man was placed on earth. The wicked don't never get to sit in rulership for a long time. Salakia. But when we get into our kingdom, we're going to be in rulership forever. Isn't that worth fighting for? Going through something, a light affliction that's going to last a short time, is definitely worth fighting for. Keeping your hand on the plow, doing this work, because the reward is rulership for all eternity. A kingdom that'll never end, man. When you break that down, it's not even a comparison. You can't even compare suffering through what's going on now and what's to come to the reward. As it said in 2 Timothy, man. Paul said, hey, man, his hope is that he gets one of those glorious crowns placed on his head by Yahweh Shah himself, man. This is worth being diligent for that. This is worth going through it for that. You know? That was all I had on that, man. I just wanted to go into that because things are starting to turn up, man. Esau's starting to turn the heat up, you know, because you got the camel. She was on TV the other day talking about, talk to your neighbors. And who is your neighbor? Is it the guy on the left of you, the guy on the right? Total stranger? Everybody's your neighbor. Wicked. But yeah, that was it on that, man. I pray that the hopeful elect of Israel was edified. So, as our elder apostles always say, it's on to the next one. Shalom.